It's not unusual to be sad with anyone, but if I ever find that you've changed...
Welcome back. We have a wind chill warning that just went out at 8:30 today. It's going to be in effect from 12 p.m. today until the 24th of December from 12 p.m. Central Time then as well. Be sure... Oh, man. Isaac, I'm telling you, buddy, the sinuses are starting. It knows it's coming. It just knows it. Isaac will be on with me in just a couple of seconds because he has a really cool organization that we're going to hear all about. But I do want to tell you guys to be careful out there. We do have our closings and cancellations page up there on RiverBender.com. In case you guys need to add anything else, you guys can send those cancellations to news@RiverBender.com. And make sure that you keep the public up to date if you're going to close a little bit early today, as everybody is preparing for the holiday season. Storm's going to move in throughout the region today, around 10 a.m. today to 2 p.m., and winter mix is going to change to snow, and then the temperature is going to drop nearly 10 degrees. From 2 to 8 p.m. tonight, Thursday, snow, wind, and near blizzard conditions are projected, and temperatures will fall to 0 degrees. With the wind chill reaching negative 25, bitter cold, strong winds will continue. And after 8 p.m. tonight, 0-degree temperatures and wind chills in the negative 30s. Friday will be dry but dangerous, and wind chills will be high, with temperatures reaching only 7 degrees and a low of 0. Dangerous wind chills will be in effect and predicted Friday evening into Christmas Eve Saturday, a high of 15 degrees on Saturday, a low of 5. Christmas Day, a high of 23 degrees with a low of 17, mostly sunny. But the next 2 days, please be careful as this winter storm rolls through the river bend. But let's transition here. We got Isaac Sandage right across from me. How are you doing? Did I say it right?
Yep, that's right. Thanks, CJ.
Normally I botch at least something, a show. But this is something really cool that you guys were kind of filling me in about, and really excited to kind of hear all about this. This is called Mental Health First Aid of Illinois. This is something that you guys have started, correct?
Yeah, we started it last year around November, actually. I've been working in mental health first aid for a while now, and we decided that we wanted to bring it over here to Illinois and really make a joint effort to expand this program across the state.
Absolutely. And take us through, if you could, just give us an overview of the organization and some of the services you guys provide.
So what we do is we teach mental health first aid courses. So if you've ever heard of like CPR first aid, oftentimes that's the way that we hear or people are familiar with.
Right.
And it's very similar to CPR first aid in that we teach you how to recognize when somebody's experiencing a mental health or substance use related challenge, and how to provide that assistance there in if it's a crisis or if somebody's just having a really crappy day. Like, how can you help somebody? And so we teach these evidence-based skills to the general public to be able to provide that support. What's really nice about it, too, is that oftentimes people are really anxious or nervous about this. Like, I don't know anything about mental health.
Right.
And you don't have to. It's designed for anybody, whether you have experience in mental health or not, to be able to learn these skills to provide that support to somebody.
Well, to me, this is so crucial because especially, the last couple of months we've seen, some of the I guess the social media posts and things of people that are really in distress. And a lot of this, I think could have been prevented if we do know how to handle these situations internally at our homes. What have you seen in your experience with the organization? Has the understanding on how to kind of handle these situations as a collective whole, has it gotten better? Or do you think just the awareness raised more for us to think it's gotten better?
Well, I think that, excuse me.
We're both struggling here, folks. We're giving you all we got.
I've got these sinuses stuff, drainage here.
With you, man.
It's the worst. So no, it's after COVID, one of the things that we noticed is we've got a lot more people being aware of how important mental health is.
Right.
Those of us that have been working in the field, we were already aware of this. We knew, but now there's so much more talk about why we need to care for ourselves, why we need to be on the lookout for each other. As we approach the holidays can be an extremely stressful season for people. And so having these people equipped in these skills to how to notice when somebody might be experiencing this challenge and then knowing how to help just really helps overall just raise awareness and make sure that we're able to provide those supports to people.
Absolutely. And take us through this. So bringing it over here, I think it's a huge asset. Are you guys teaching classes? So it's really an educational system for now. Can people like myself, everyday people take these classes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We invite anybody to take the courses. And so We actually have a community course coming up it's a virtual course because it's winter and nobody likes to travel in the winter, obviously, because it's how the roads are.
Right.
But we've got a virtual course coming up on December 29th and 30th. And so we're teaching it over Zoom, and it's designed for anybody, as long as you're over the age of 18 to take this course to learn these skills. Just like CPR. Like you don't have to be a doctor or a nurse to take CPR to learn how to help somebody. So you don't have to be a therapist or a counselor to learn how to help somebody that may be experiencing a mental health challenge.
That is so cool. And I'm sure there's registration things we got to do. Take us through that. So if we want to take part in this, what's the registration cost here, and how can we sign up? Yeah,
so the course is valued at about $170 per person.
Wow.
Right? So that's the value that looking at everything. This course we have coming up, we're charging about $50. So just so folks can get in and take this course, we're not in it to make a bunch of money. We're in it to provide the awareness out there.
Right.
So we have registration open, you just hop over to our website at www.mhfaillinois.org, and then we have an events page there, and you could sign up for any events. We've been teaching classes over here for a while now. We've partnered with folks like the Madison County Mental Health Board to provide some community courses over the last year. We work a lot with the Overnight Warming Center here in Alton, providing the mental health first aid training for their volunteers. And so we always have some courses kind of going on over there. It's been kind of a slow couple months now as we're getting into the winter and the holidays.
Right.
But we're planning on gearing up and really launching a whole bunch more community courses as we approach 2023.
Well, that's fantastic. I didn't realize how involved you were with other organizations here. I mean, how has it been just transitioning to kind of bring this organization into town? It seems like you've been really able to kind of get your feet moving pretty quick with this.
Yeah, well, it's nice that I've been an instructor in mental health first aid since 2016. I'm also a national trainer in the program, and so I train the trainers to go out and teach us in the community. And so I've got a little bit of experience in knowing how to work to navigate this.
You might know a thing or two, huh?
Yeah, but exactly. But when I saw, I'm thinking about my hometown here in Alton and seeing we've got a need for it here.
A big need.
And so I'm like, well, I want to see Illinois just really get up there and really make sure that we provide these skills and these services. And there's a bunch of really great instructors here in our local area also. And I'm friends with a lot of them. We teach together a lot. It's super fun. And so I know SIUE has a bunch of instructors over there. They're always putting on courses. I've worked with a couple different mental health community organizations. They have instructors. And it's so fun to kind of get together and really unite our services and our resources to really expand this conversation.
Absolutely. And you hit it right there on the head. I think so many times, we have all these great assets like your guys' organization and so many around here, but it seems like it's so no one really knows about them sometimes. And I just don't understand it because you guys are always out posting things. Here's what we're going to be teaching. You guys meet, the board in Madison County meets all the time, it seems like. Why do you think there's just this kind of disconnect that it's like there's no help out there, but there's tons of help right here in town?
Right. Well, I think the problem is especially with mental health first aid, all of us instructors were independent.
Right.
So we're not communicating, and we have a really poor marketing plan. So it's our best marketing is word of mouth by people who have taken the course. Right. People take the course man, this course is amazing. Everybody should take this.
Yes.
And so then they go and tell their friends or their family or their organization, and that's how we get people in the door. Otherwise, we're really bad at marketing.
Well, and you know what? Hey, I love the honesty. We come on here, we be honest. I stumble through the show. I hope for the best. Life's good. But to me, like I said, you're right. This it needs to be taken because there's so many times that we know so many people in our own backyards that really could benefit from, having somebody that really has some type of not knowing it all, but just a little bit of a background, a little bit of a formulated plan on how to kind of help the person in need. And take us through how the course developed since your time starting in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So for 6 years, how has this course kind of developed to where it is now?
Well, when I first started, it's a national program. It's a national certification. It's evidence-based.
Okay.
So there's a lot of research that shows that it works, and they're constantly updating it. Well, in 2020, we did a statistical update, and we were getting ready to launch this new curriculum, and we set it up to launch in March of 2020. Well, in March of 2020, a lot of other stuff happened. So
a pandemic may or may not have caused some of these issues.
It really kind of put a little hamper in our plan.
Right.
So we actually shifted to be able to teach these virtually. They used to be entirely in person. And so that was a big shift, and that was a really challenging shift. And so we're actually the first country to teach this and offer this course in a virtual setting as well. But we still offer it in person, and I still like to teach it in person too. But one of the things it's really, really nice about it, though, is it's continuing to grow and expand. When I first got trained as an instructor in 2016, we were well under 1 million people in the U.S. that were trained under. Now we're up to over 3 million, where our next goal is 20 million, because what that means then is everybody has somebody in their close circle that's trained in mental health first aid. And so that's our next goal. And so it's been really rapidly growing, especially since we transitioned to virtual. We're able to train people. I've been able to train people on the East Coast and the West Coast all in the same class. It's super fun. And so we're seeing a lot of growth now as we transition to virtual.
Well, and too, I mean, to me, it seems like you're able to just, it's a snow globe effect, you know? It seems like from what you just said, you know, under 1 million, and now all of a sudden we're ballooning here a little bit, and it's not going to stop. I mean, to me, it sucks, but mental health awareness only happens when you go through it. You know, it's not a preventative thing where you go out and seek these classes before something bad affects your family or affects you. So I'm sure that you have a lot of experience with people that are coming in distress, in duress, from trying to go, well, how do I even fix this? Where do I start? For somebody that's watching now that knows that they're, you know, especially right now, because it is one of the hardest times of the year, and people, you know, they kind of lightheartedly say it, but it's true. It's really terrible for some. What's your kind of advice there? What's the first step? You can't solve it all right now, obviously, but what's kind of that first step to help bridge the gap for a better 2023?
You know, and we oftentimes say that if excuse me, if you're having a bad day or you need help, reach out. Folks that are having a really crappy day are not going to reach out.
No,
it's up to us, the rest of us,
yes,
to notice and to reach out to them. So extending that hand, offering, letting them know that they matter, that we see them, we see you. And so if you're struggling right now, I care.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody, and a lot of us do. We care that you're here. We want you to stay here. We want you to have better days, and better days can happen. And we want to help and support you. So just even a text message, be like, hey, like, got a minute to talk.
What did I just say at 9:50? I'm telling you. I am telling you. I just said it. I said, just send a text and say, you know what? Thinking about you. Merry Christmas. Love you. You know, just something simple.
Just something that says, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
Right. And just that can be so reassuring to somebody.
And in your opinion, has just from your experience in this, the last couple of years, you know, it seems like the collective thought is that people are becoming more hateful, you know, or something. And to me, I don't really see that. But have you seen more of just a closure and emotion, do you think? Or has it been more of an open book atmosphere for you guys?
You know, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, social media offers us so many opportunities to connect, but it also there's this invisible shield there where we're hiding behind the screen, and we're not actually having that face-to-face interaction. And so sometimes it's easier to just forget that who you're communicating with is another person. And so I see a lot more because we're able to connect with people and have those conversations. But at the same time, we're also kind of slipping and forgetting that we're talking to other human beings sometimes on there. So, you know, it's getting better, but it's also getting worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. And you know what? I think this is a great time for us to take a little breather. We got to pay some bills. It's 10:17 in the heart of the river. Well, 10:18, but Father Time doesn't like me. On this 22nd day of December, we're coming right back with more of our daily show right after this in downtown Alton.
Thanks, teacher.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Inspiring her dreams and helping her pursue them. That's why we protect your house and your car, because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Welcome back, 1021, December 22nd, 3 days until Christmas, and, about 3 hours until Winter Armageddon, but who cares?
I'm not looking forward to it.
No, I am not either, Isaac. We got a great conversation rolling on with Isaac Sandage, mental health first aid of mental health first aid?
Mental health first aid Illinois, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm stumbling already.
No, it's all right. It's this weather, like I was driving, and I was like, maybe we should have done this over the phone.
So what you guys did the last 12 hours, I'm trying to get everything wrangled in here and texting Isaac going, hey, do you want to come in or do it by phone? Oh, I'll come in. I thought, God love you. I gave him the little cross by the phone, everything.
I didn't look at the weather report beforehand before I answered it. I was like, oh, man.
Well, I am so impressed by this organization because to me, I think so many times people see the bigger organizations and go, well, am I really going to learn something here? With you guys, I mean, these are great teaching tools because you never know when you're going to stumble upon somebody going through mental duress. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they just need a little bit of help to, keep them, calm until maybe the proper, responders arrive and proper, whether it's a paramedic or whether it's somebody that's just getting them help. Be there for them. And Isaac, you teach some great classes. Take us through some of the courses.
Yeah, so we got we like I said, we got one coming up. We don't have anything else on the books right now.
Right.
I'm trying to work with my partner to figure out like when this works. So I do have a full-time job too.
Right.
So I gotta squeeze these in when I can. One of the things that we're talking about, like people experiencing distress, and so we one of the things we teach in the course is we teach all these different types of situations that may become a crisis or that are a crisis. Like I'm thinking about like right now, people are out there shopping, they're at Walmart, like people are we were just talking about people getting angry and grumpy at each other. Sometimes you might come across somebody that's having a panic attack, and so one of the things that we do is we teach you what to do. Like how can you help somebody that's experiencing a panic attack? How can you notice it, and how can you provide that support?
I don't want to ask you the secret here because we want to take. I really want people to take your class, but what's kind of like the I guess is it easier than we think to help somebody with a panic attack?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. With all mental health crises, it's a lot easier than folks think. I think that's what prevents us a lot of times is that fear. I'm afraid I'm going to make it worse.
Yes.
Right. And so what we do with the course is we help eliminate and take away those fears. We teach you these skills so that you've got the tools and and you feel confident to go up and support somebody. So a lot of times it's just taking the lead on what that person's experiencing that's having a panic attack. It's things like, what do you need? What do they need to support them?
Okay.
Do they need me to be here? Do they need me to be somewhere else? I could do that. Like, it's just a matter of like, how do we approach and how do we recognize it? And then how can we provide those skills?
And now something that I've gone through, because I have, had a couple of experiences with this and people having panic attacks is the indecisiveness. It seems like for a second, somebody that's going through that would want you to stay and then, oh, no, get away from it. Is it just one of those balancing acts?
It is.
Really? Okay.
Really, it's just taking the cues from the individual.
Yeah.
One of the things we know about panic attacks is they have a tendency to peak after about 10 minutes. And so a lot of times it's just waiting it out and just being there, providing that reassurance in the moment that you're there with them if they need it. If they don't need it, we're just going to stand over here and they can call us back over if they need. In about 10 minutes or so, we'll get through this and we'll make it through.
Wow. That is just really cool. And to me, like I said, these are just so important tools to have because, the social media stuff that you guys saw the last couple of months of people having really bad crises and, instead of poking fun at them, why don't we just kind of lean the hand out there and say, we got you, I think it's so important. How many classes do you guys put on throughout the years? Does it just depend?
It varies. I myself have trained just about 3,000 individuals in adult first aid. So I'm the top instructor in Missouri. I was recognized this past year. I'm like, the year's coming to an end, so I got to plug that as much as I can.
Right.
While I still got,
you still got the title. Keep it.
Another week or so, I'm still the top instructor. I let my team know all the time.
The next time you come in, we'll have the lower third say the 2022 top trainer.
I keep saying that like we need to have like a little medal I get to wear. I'm like that, and I brag about that because that's 3,000 people, almost 3,000 people that have these skills now. And I read a study, and what really helped drive me in this effort is that according to the National Institute of Health, every person in the U.S. has about 12 unique social interactions per day. And so for every first aider that I train, it's a certification process for 3 years. Every single day they have 12 opportunities to help somebody. And so it's more than just numbers to me. It's a statistics game. We're likely going to run into somebody that's experiencing a crisis, and I'm just helping equip people with tools to be able to provide that support.
And you know what? I'd brag about it too, because that really is something to be proud of. I mean, so many times, it's like you look at the articles and they're all about, well, some guy threw 98 miles an hour. Well, that's cool. That takes talent, but it also takes a lot of skill and just hard work and perseverance to do what you're doing. Do you have? I'm sure you've run into this where someone's taken your class and given you a call, or maybe just sent you an email back and said, "I'm really glad I've taken it." You don't have to give me prime examples or anything like that, but have there been a lot of those cases?
Yeah, there have. And we get those emails or those calls all the time.
Really?
Like I didn't realize it, but we'll get these things like after I left your course or I took this class, 2 days later, somebody was having this issue and I was able to provide this support and help. And I was like, I didn't realize that was going to be able to use this right away. Or people use it while they're in the course, when we're on break. So their friend calls or something and they're able to use some of these skills to provide that help right there in the moment. We get those all the time.
And see, that's why, I mean, it's really special what you guys are doing because I joke all the time, I'm the emotional Italian. So every time someone calls me, and says, I really I thank you for teaching that, I would just start crying. I wouldn't be able to make it through. But take us through that. So we're signing up for your class. What do these courses kind of look like online?
Sure. So online, it's fun because it's an 8-hour course. Well, it's 7.5 hours, but it's not 7.5 hours necessarily online. When we do a virtual class, we give you some pre-work to do before you get there. So about 2 hours, you do it at your own pace. You got plenty of time to get that completed. Then you come into our class with us in this virtual environment. What's awesome about this course is it's designed for adult learners.
Gotcha.
So it's an interactive course. You're not just sitting there listening to me talk at you all day. Like we're getting in, we're using the tools, we're practicing, we're doing small group discussions, we're doing brainstorming activities, we're engaging with scenarios where we get a chance to use these skills. We have an action plan that we teach you, and so we really walk you through how you can use that in everyday scenarios. One of our scenarios is an elderly neighbor that's having a hard time. Right. Yeah. And so we walk through how can we use this action plan to be able to provide the support to our neighbor. And I love that scenario because we all have neighbors.
Right.
So, I mean, it's
right. It's constant.
I might walk in thinking, how am I going to use this at work or how am I going to use this here? But like it's versatile. We can use this in our professional lives. We can use it in our personal lives. And so I always like to use that neighbor scenario because it kind of really frames it up for folks. Lets them know like you can use this at any point.
Absolutely. And for more information on everything you guys are doing, how do we stay up to date? What's the best way?
Yeah, so we have an email newsletter list that we have that folks can sign up for when they visit our site, Mental Health First Aid or mhfaillinois.org. I send out sometimes I don't know, it's really sporadic. Again, my marketing plan is not the best. So, but we try to keep people in the know what's going on. We have some Facebook pages. It's at Isaac MHFA. It's right now it's my wife and I. We do a lot of these courses, but we provide a lot of information like whenever we're having new classes come up, how can you sign up?
Right.
We're trying to get like some flyers out there, but again, like marketing is not my background. My background's in behavioral health, so like,
a little bit different demographic or a little bit different industry there.
Like you should take it. It's really great. That's what I say. I tell folks like I promise you're gonna love it.
Well, I'm telling you, the best marketing you could done was just come here and talk because the more you can hear your passion for it, and so many times you have, and especially at my old work, doing the radio interviews, sometimes you can tell they're in it not because of the mission, but because of the reward. and you can tell you're definitely in it for a mission. It's passion for you, and I'm really excited to see all the the developing things you guys come up with the next 6 years, because it seems like you've done pretty well for the last 6. Coming up on the 29th is your class, correct?
The 29th, it's a 2-part class, and so we're not taking up all of your evening. We're going to split it into 2 days, and so it's from 5 to 9, the 29th and the 30th, 5 to 9. We'll probably get out a little earlier on the 30th. We'll finish up a little early, but yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be virtual, and you can sign up on our website.
Awesome. Well, Isaac, I really appreciate you stopping by today. Anytime you want to come back on, seriously, this was a treat, man. This was so cool.
This is fun. I like this. Yeah.
Absolutely. 1029 right here, heart of the Riverbend. We'll come back with more of our daily show, wrap it up on this Thursday in downtown Alton.